thank you for joining me as we explore another fascinating avenue on the path of the Seeker. In this video, we will continue to ascend up the Kabbalah Tree of Life. Here, we encounter the fifth descending Sephiroth. This is Geburah, and the Hebrew letters that create this word is Gimel, Beth, Vav, Resh, and Hey. As always with this series, you can click on the link in the description box below, and we'll take you to a blog where I discuss the significance of this combination. This is the central Sephiroth on the Pillar of Severity. This Sephiroth, when the Tree of Life is laid over the body, is the right shoulder. The intelligence of this Sephiroth is radical intelligence. John Van Auken refers to this as long-suffering. Here we come to what seems to be a contradiction. This Sephiroth is called justice and fear. Sometimes it's called judgment. The symbol for this Sephiroth is the sword. Marcus Katz refers to the Sephiroth as folding of the robe. Sometimes the Sephiroth is considered evil. Sometimes it is called the adversary or the trickster. Yet I won't toy with you. You've come to the Sephiroth that represents our ego. Ego, if you study the Edgar Cayce material and the series of books entitled A Course in Miracles, was the result of fear after eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil in defiance of the Creator's instruction. That is why, on the descending path, this Sephiroth represents fear. If we go into fear at this point of our ascension, we will be judged unworthy, not by the Creator, but by our higher self. If we fail, we tumble down the tree of life like Jack and Jill. But if we persevere, we temper our ego much as a smith tempers a sword. As Dion Fortune puts it, we learn to use the sword instead of submitting to it. We carry out the will of the Creator and not our own. Fighting without malice, we spare the weak and wounded, a corrector of imbalance. Perhaps this is what Jesus meant when he stated in Matthew 10:34, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." The Sephiroth Geburah, Dion Fortune explains, is like a surgeon correcting imbalance. The role of the ego can be obscure, but the chariot card of the tarot really captures the essence of ego. As Dion Fortune describes Geburah, the need to tighten or loosen the reins is needed. The ego, when we leave it out of our control as a part of the subconscious, is the one at the reins of our life, often tightening the reins through fear and loosening them when we indulge in material gratification. The ego is Oz, the magician, behind the curtain, pretending to be all-powerful. At this stage of our ascension, we no longer need or desire the protection of the ego. As Marcus Katz explains, if something is real, no amount of doubt, analysis, examination, and so forth will destroy it. When we reach the stage of ascension on the Kabbalah Tree of Life, we are at the point of dissolution in the alchemical process. Here, our true essence, our soul, is released from the confines of the false construct of the ego that we use to hide ourselves from the Creator during the fall. In the Bible, this is symbolized by Adam and Eve wishing to wear clothes. Hence, the name Marcus Katz gives the Sephiroth, folding the robe. Dion Fortune states, there is a certain type of courage which does not fear dissolution, for it knows that all spiritual principles are indestructible. When the impermanence has been dissolved, the eternal realities shine forth in all their glory, every line revealed. Though no longer responsible to his fellow man, he is responsible to the Creator, and it will be expected that he will give an account of his stewardship. John Van Auken provides a fascinating Edgar Cayce quote that further expounds on our refinement when we reach this stage. Study to show yourself approved unto him, the giver of all good and perfect gifts, rightly discerning, rightly dividing the words of truth, keeping self in such an attitude, in such an activity, as to bring to self's own conscience no condemnation, nor condemning any other. The ego, that so commonly acts as though it's in command, will condemn us all day long, telling us that we are unworthy before we even attempt a project, and it thrills at condemning others, especially politicians. With Rav Michael Laitman, we have come to the second day of creation. After separating the egotistic from the altruistic properties within us, we must begin the job of correcting our ego. In the property called water, we acquire the attribute of bestowal. The property of bestowal corrects the ego and enables us to use it for our own good as well for the good of others. Through this corrected ego, we feel the upper world and the Creator. At this point of the ascension process, we begin to teach and share our talents with the rest of humanity, in the name of the Creator as a living example. We cannot hide the spark of light that has ignited within us, causing the Tremendous transformation, but let it shine. Well, we've come to the end of this video. We have one more Sephiroth to go on this exploration of the Path of the Seeker. Thank you, brave soul, for joining me on the Path of the Seeker. May you find joy and peace on your unique journey.